welcome back to Fool Us. So far tonight, one magician has fooled Penn and Teller and earned a trip back here to Vegas. So let's meet our next contender and see if they're up to the task.
Even as a child, there was something different about Nanak. Strange, mysterious things seemed to happen around him. One day he fell asleep in the shadows under a tree. This could be quite dangerous in a hot country like India. If he didn't wake up, the sun would burn him as it moved round. But a strange thing happened. As the sun moved round, all the shadows under the other trees also moved round, but the shadow protecting Nanak stayed exactly where it was. Strange things like that kept on happening, even when Nanak became a man. Nanak used to get up before dawn and go down to the river to bathe and say his prayers. But one morning he disappeared. All that remained were his clothes lying on the bank. All the people in the village looked everywhere for him. "Nanak, Nanak, where are you?" And when they couldn't find him, they thought that he had drowned. However, 3 days later, Nanak suddenly reappeared. Everyone wanted to know where he had been. He said that he had been with God, and that he'd been told to go and teach the people about how they too could get closer to God. Nanak's vision changed his life, and from then on he travelled the world teaching God's message. The people who gathered to listen to him became known as Sikhs, a word meaning learner, and he became known as Guru Nanak, God's teacher.
Penn and Teller were talking about what they've just seen and whether they know how it's done. How confident do you feel about fooling them, Brian?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
-5. I just want to make them smile. They're smiling right now.
Well, that's the worst smile I've ever seen in my life. Looking over at Penn and Teller, I can see they've come to the end of their deliberations, so I'm going to phone now to Penn and find out how well you did. Penn, what do you have to say?
We are huge fans before you even came out here, and the bribe did not hurt. We did psychic surgery, which is what you were doing there, on Conan O'Brien's show, and Teller did the moves to reach in and pull the stuff out of Conan's stomach, and I think you did it better. We do know how that's done. We also, we have a pretty good idea of the serial number. We don't want to give away too much there.
Sure.
But you used a technique at the very end to have him verify the bill.
Sure.
That is one of my favorite techniques in magic. Could you have made it work with your name as well, or was just Sean's name?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, some people want to see the bill after I'm done.
Yeah.
And are you happy? You're convinced they know what they're talking about? They know what you know that we don't necessarily know?
They know that I know that they know that we all know.
That's, well, as long as you know that, then I know that you're happy to know that. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a great act, wasn't it? Mr. Brian Westbrook.